Hi from some alley, it's the 4 o'clock news. Welcome to the news! It turns out that it won't let you stay at E3 until it begins. So we're in this alley. Here's what we have for you today. I was just robbed. You all saw it happening and didn't lift a finger to help. And does the thief know that's not where I keep my money? But first, gaming and technology news. Emoticons, or as how unemployed people call them, emojis, are serious business. So serious, in fact, that giant corporations like Google have scores of artists working on designing more and more of them day and night, so that people with no communication skills all over the world can skate by without having to actually develop those skills, until they eventually meet somebody face to face and society breaks down. But scandal has erupted in the emoticon community, I guess, recently, with the reveal that Google has changed the salad picture to exclude the egg. People all around the world were quick to react to this, some applauding this brave and heroic bid for inclusivity, while others decried it as a move to pander to the roving vegan hordes. Even more, some wondered why there was an egg there to begin with in a lettuce and tomato salad. What are we, animals? While others were more shocked that a multi-billion-dollar company that controls global internet communications would pay somebody to remove a drawing of an egg from the drawing of a bowl of salad for literally any reason. I would call this a first world problem, but I'm being informed that this goes far beyond the first world problem, that people living in the third world countries all over the world have announced that they will be sending aid to the United States because it sure as hell needs some, as it is quite obvious. It's Pride Month, so you know what that means, right? A bunch of people all over the internet will change their profile picture to add a flag, and then a month later will forget that LGBT people exist to begin with. But not YouTube, because our benevolent overlord, the social video sharing network site that we owe so much to, has decided to mark this spirit of celebration by displaying homophobic ads on certain videos. While this initially seemed to be nothing more than an error, YouTube surprised, no one that's actually familiar with the way it operates by saying with all the confidence of a president that just punched a child that if users don't want there to be homophobic ads on their videos, all they have to do is blacklist the URL of the ad themselves. After all, it's not YouTube's fault that the ads that YouTube was paid for and profits off your work to display have content that goes against YouTube's own terms of service and guidelines. So as the company would like to say but can't, suck it down! A few days later, the company changed its story, saying that the offending commercial was removed and that it will never ever happen again. Not that you'll actually remember this or notice. After all, we have about the same memory span as squirrel. Commercial break. Hi, Marketing. I'm here on behalf of Microsoft to ensure you that our takeover of GitHub is a good thing. After all, there is no one that loves open source software more than Microsoft. We're the best friends that the free software and open source software initiatives have ever had. As a company that doesn't have one shred of open source software, Not even the things it released 40 years ago. We are experts in what it means to be open sourced. Just name one situation in which our exhaustive outreach, integration, and endeavors haven't resulted in a hyper double uptick on the DOA index in the 6th quarter. Don't say Skype, please. Just don't. So don't leave. Don't get out, as some people have said. Mostly because I trademarked that, since it's actually a very good marketing slogan. Microsoft will probably buy you too someday as well. Scandal erupted again in the video games industry this week after Valve made an announcement that it was sick of having to decide which games can be sold on Steam, what's the maximum amount of boobies per square inch allowed, or how much of a walking simulator can a game actually be before it becomes a PowerPoint presentation. So the company decided that unless a game contains illegal stuff or is just there for trolling, it is allowed on Steam. That means that boobies are in, which is expected to drive up VR adoption by 650% within the next 2 months. However, there is a dark side to this, namely all the shovelware that's probably going to show up on Steam now. This has actually gotten some game developers worried, but a lot of them seem to be in favor of the idea, with the developers of Agony even announcing that they'll try to put an uncensored version of the game on Steam, maybe even as a freebie. And let me tell you, there are things in that game that are, as the popular kids would say, whack. There was, however, an outcry against Valve's idea. The seedy underbelly of the internet has reared its ugly head again, launching a coordinated attack against Valve's effort to no longer limit mature content on its platform, allowing for more expressive games, deeper games, that explore ideas that, let's face it, no one will ever publish on a more conservative platform. Numerous hateful comments have surfaced decrying Valve's actions as the end of civilization itself, all seemingly coordinated through the shady corners of the dark web, pushing the same narrative that goes against even what the developers are saying. A hate mob of trolls, of man-children, of basement-dwelling nerds that are evil. People with no spine, lowlifes with no empathy that... Wait. I'm being told that the coordinated conspiracy is actually being carried out by the gaming press. I've got nothing. Well, that's all we've got for you right now, but stay tuned because... looks like he figured it out. After the break, Intel demonstrated a 28-core CPU at Computex running at 5 GHz. The company, however, neglected to say that it was overclocked, cooled by a 1 horsepower air conditioner, and bolted to a motherboard that was custom built just for this job and probably can't be mass-produced for a price that will ever make sense. Intel has somehow managed to create the equivalent of an E3 game trailer with a hardware demonstration.